The USL League One is presented by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys, founding partner of AV Alta FC. Find out more at paris.com. The race for the #1 seed carries on in Lancaster, California. Charlotte are a win away from the top spot, but AV Alta are hungry to prove they're worthy in year 2. We're at Lancaster Municipal Stadium on ESPN+. Hello, welcome, I'm Ryan Lee. Thank you for joining us. Our standings are brought to you by JT4. The Jacks had the first seed for a few hours on Wednesday before Omaha claimed it back, beating Alta. But a three-way logjam in the 4 slot gives little comfort to either Boise, Fort Wayne, or AV Alta. But there could be separation tonight, especially after the league's best defensive teams are in action today. A unit that is currently the 5th fewest goals allowed, tied with the most clean sheets in the league. And Brian Clavin made a point of emphasis of the back end of the team, which has allowed AV Alta not only to take control of games, but maximizing the system to the team's strength. Not only did it allow Alta to have a 9-game unbeaten run, and despite allowing 3 goals in their loss to Omaha, they still have full belief that their system can get them back on track. And one of Alta's biggest strengths is in between the pipes. Our WM player to watch is Denzel Smith. The Trinidad and Tobago international has been the #1 keeper since he was brought in last year. Smith makes his 3rd straight start, entering tonight top 6 in the league with 37 saves and top 3 with 4 clean sheets. He'll be called upon as the main man between the pipes once again for AV Alta. But as we flip to the other side, for the Jacks, history is in their sights. Their 8-game win run is already the longest in franchise history, but the 2nd longest in league history. They chased a Union Omaha side that won the 2023 Players' Shield. Mike Jeffries said the maturity and strength of character has been one of the biggest strengths. The confidence within the group will have to remain high in order to keep the train rolling. And without Golden Boot leader Luis Alvarez, the offensive production will have to come from other places. Our other WM players to watch are the spine of the attack in the midfield, with Swebu Maru and John Baccaro. 2025 saw 9 goals from Maru and 9 assists for Baccaro, and are on track for similar productivity. The creativity, versatility, and ability of these two will be crucial for the Independents if they aim to continue their winning ways. The climb to the top of the table continues in California. A win sends Charlotte to the top, while AV Alta look to stay within reach. Lineups in kickoff are coming up, but first, located in the northern reaches of Los Angeles County, the Antelope Valley has a proud aerospace heritage. From pre-war military test flights to breaking the sound barrier, the space shuttle landings, and the production of B-1 and B-21 bombers, aerospace is woven into the fabric of this community. Even the font of the letters AV in AV Alta FC Shield were inspired by the Angels of the B-2. Last month, on June 15th, a B-52 bomber assigned to the 412th Test Wing of Edwards Air Force Base crashed on takeoff, tragically killing all 8 personnel on board. At this time, AV Alta FC and the entire Antelope Valley community honor the fallen with this moment of silence, followed by the playing of the national anthem.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor the fallen teammates of the 412th Test Wing, Edwards Air Force Base. On June 15th, a B-52 bomber assigned to the 412th crashed shortly after takeoff from Edwards Air Force Base, tragically claiming the lives of 8 personnel on board. At this time, please remain standing and join us in this solemn moment of silence as we read the roll call of the 8 fallen teammates. Colonel Gregory Watson. Major Robert D. Major Ryan Honig. Jeremy Smith. Christopher Richard. Thank you. We ask that you please remain standing and focus your attention on the American flag flying on the north end of the stadium. We will play our national anthem.
In Big Bear, every moment becomes part of your story. It's where you can find the perfect lake spot for your family. Make your way along the trail for the first of many adventures. Or see a new passion spark in their eyes for the very first time. Where the sky reminds you just how big that story can be. Because Big Bear is where your memories are made. Where they're written. The best memories are made in Big Bear. Start your tradition at bigbear.com.
When it comes to healthcare, you want all aspects of your care to connect and to work in harmony. Introducing Southwest Healthcare, a comprehensive network of care working together to serve you and your loved ones. Palmdale Regional Medical Center is proud to be a part of this new, expanded system. Our goal is to provide high-quality healthcare services that benefit you, your family, and our entire community. Experience health in harmony today with the new Southwest Healthcare.
Toyota of Lancaster's Buy Local and Save sales event is on. Come down today to save big on hundreds of vehicles in stock. Cars, SUVs, trucks, hybrids, and more. We have new vehicles arriving daily. In the market for a used vehicle? Toyota of Lancaster has a massive selection of used and Toyota certified used vehicles to choose from. Drive with confidence in the vehicle you deserve. Bad credit, no problem. Toyota of Lancaster will make your vehicle purchase safe, simple, and fun. Shop online at toyotaoflancaster.com. Toyota of Lancaster. Buy local and save.
Starting lineups are presented by Visit Palmdale with miles of hiking trails, a thriving art scene, and plenty of lodging. The rich aerospace industry, Palmdale is the perfect launching point for your high desert adventure. One change is made for Brian Claiborne. Denzel Smith is back for his third consecutive start. The back four remains unchanged. Bahena slots down into the midfield, one of the favorites for the mid-season Young Player of the Year. And Miguel Ibarra, the former Jack, is the lone change in the lineup in the forward group. He makes his third start of 2026. As for Mike Jeffries and the Charlotte Independents, they also only have one change to note in their starting 11. Matt Levy has started every single game in this current 8-game winning run. The Jacks also keep their back four. Jondo Fuchs is the lone change in the midfield. He makes his first start with Charlotte. And Swebu Maru is the lone forward in the 4-2-3-1. He has 5 goals so far in 2026. We are at the Hangar, Lancaster Municipal Stadium. A top 4 matchup between AV Alta and Charlotte Independence. A slot that was actually occupied by AV Alta before the results of last night and earlier today allowed Fort Wayne and Boise to jump in. But the first overall seed is up for grabs for Charlotte Independence. For AV Alta, they look to stay in the hunt as we get started here at Lancaster Municipal Stadium. AV Alta, all green, they'll begin right to left. Charlotte Independence in the white and blue stripes, they go left to right. As Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew, we thank you for joining us for an installment of USL League One After Dark. Yes, there is indeed more soccer going on in the realm in the U.S. as we thank you so much for joining us. It is a fight to the top. AV Alta want to show they are amongst the league's elite, that they do belong in this upper echelon, especially after their devastating 3-1 collapse in Omaha, where they not only took the lead, but they allowed Omaha to charge back to reclaim the #1 seed after Charlotte actually had it for a couple hours after their win versus Corpus Christi only hours before Omaha beat AV Alta. So not only is this a chance for these two to make their respective jumps, but for everyone else watching along the league leads, your Knoxvilles, your Omahas, they all watch carefully as well. Adam Almesh, one of the top goal scorers, gives it a try, but it's Levy to slap it away for the match's opening corner. What a try from Adam Almesh, already a career high 6 goals, including 1 the last time out versus Union Omaha. And having to be sharp right out the rip is Matt Levy. Has started every single match, not only in this 8-game run, every single one of Charlotte's 14 regular season matches, as our opening corner is brought to you by Toyota of Lancaster. Serve in, back post, and that is hit well over. Cesar Bahena giving it a go from the outside as AV Alta's brand new 2026 El Clasico kit is on sale in stadium and online now, courtesy of Hummel, the club's official jersey provider. Check out the full line of new AV Alta gear, including the new Poppy collection, by visiting shop.avaltafc.com. Charlotte go quick. Jaime gets blocked. Baquero settles down. Jaime leaves it outside. Vigo Ortiz. We'll see plenty of chances from both sides as they are amongst some of the top goal-scoring units. That one is swept through. Villalobos waits before he clears. Leaves it for Christian Ortiz. And all sorts of grappling on Maru will give things back to AV Alta. The injury report is brought to you by Southwest Healthcare. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all of the hospital services. None reported for AV Alta. For Charlotte, the most notable one, Enzo Martinez, the longtime veteran of the USL Championship, and Luis Alvarez, the current leader in the Golden Boot race. 9 goals, he leads the league, unavailable for today. Not any sort of sustainable opportunities for both sides after that first rush opportunity from Adam Almesh in the opening minute. But this is something that you could see both these teams doing as time goes on. You could expect a bit of a cagey back and forth affair. These two played twice last year, both of which were 1-goal results. And both teams actually won in their respective home venues. Charlotte won October last year by a 3-2 final where Swebu Maru knocked in the game winner at the death. And in May of last year, it was AV Alta with the 2-1 victory that was back here at the hangar. This is Elias Almesh, who has his second consecutive start with AV Alta on the attacking end, loosening up for Ortiz before that gets clipped out of bounds. AV Alta beginning the season 6-3-6. It was good for 4th in USL League One before some of the results of the weekend actually flipped some things around within the table. AC Boise just coming off of their win versus Westchester just hours ago. And Fort Wayne extending their unbeaten run. They've are well in the double-digit range. They continue to find a way to get things done. Are the two respective expansion sides as they beat Richmond the other day. And then they also had a shutout win versus Spokane last night. Created a 3-way tie going into the match. But that could most certainly shift as AV Alta wanting to press ahead. Miguel Ibarra on the chase, the former Jack. And he gets dumped. The youngster Javan Romero on the back end. Largely responsible for taking care of the captain Ibarra. You have one of the top defensive units in USL League One, 17 goals allowed for AV Alta, which is tied for the 5th fewest in the league, actually with Charlotte, believe it or not, up against the #1 goal-scoring offense that is the Charlotte Independents. 33 goals in 13 matches. You're darn near averaging 3 goals a game. Prince Sadie looks to pounce. Sadie curls it across, too high for Maru. Rebound, settle down, Ibarra. Retreats back, Alfredo Ortiz. You see the commitment to getting back. Even Adam Almesh, one of the forwards, coming all the way back towards the defensive box in order to assist. That last loss to Omaha actually snapped a franchise record for AV Alta. 9 games consecutive unbeaten, which spanned from April 11th all the way to June 24th. 6 wins, 3 draws within that stretch for Brian Claben's unit. Although they lost to the Owls, there were most certainly some lessons from it. As this one is loose in front before Levy had to react quickly. Osvaldo Ley looked to threaten. Individual mistakes, by the way, was that main lesson to take, and that most certainly was the case, and that one just gets coughed up. Too wide of Javan Romero and given back to Alta. Elias Almesh, far side, cuts back in, top of the box, couldn't reach Bahena. Fuchs and Jaime eventually clear. Sadie. Dimmick retreats back. This brand new center back tandem of Javan Romero and Rayud Manin, and especially the responsibility of Manin at 24 years old, having to replace the veteran Nick Spielman. And Javan Romero, also one of the many Charlotte Independence players who have already reached a relatively high pedigree, one of the finalists for the midseason Defensive Player of the Years. And that really cycles all around for both of these squads. We mentioned Cesar Bahena, one of the midseason favorites for Young Player of the Year. Brian Claben, Mike Jeffries, both in the midseason pool of Coach of the Year. Curled in, Maru, blocked off. Dimmick maintains possession. That really shows the pedigree of both of these teams early on. Top 4 entering the weekend. Joey Skinner on the outside with Baquero. Return feed inside the line. Maru, the header, caught by Smith. Denzel Smith has had to be sharp for AV Alta in between the pipes. Just a game over 500, 4 wins, 3 losses, and the 5 draws in his 12 starts. There's actually been all sorts of jumbling around in net, considering you had guys like Jabril Doumbia available, who played his handful of matches. This is actually Smith's 4th consecutive match because he filled in for Doumbia after Doumbia sustained an arm injury only a quarter hour into the Greenville game. Almesh flips for his brother Elias, leading the way for Christian Ortiz. Ortiz in play, leaves it. Bahena, he waits, and great hustle back for Jaime. Jaime gets taken down. Foul will give the ball back to Charlotte. Tonight's keys of the match are presented by Big Bear Lake, where moments on the pitch in the mountains become tradition. Start yours at bigbear.com. For AV Alta, the defense has been the #1 point of emphasis over the last month or so for Brian Claben and company, especially with a goalkeeper to the pedigree of Denzel Smith. They're also a team that loves to get their bodies in front of the ball, are Alta. For Charlotte, you don't have that individual excellence of Luis Alvarez, so finding offensive contributors elsewhere will have to do. Sadie, Dimmick alongside. Sadie lets it fly, too high. But that's what you want if you are Mike Jeffries. He talked about the confidence within not just themselves as players, but within the group as a whole being a key piece of why this team has been so successful and why things have just been going so well in all aspects. He gives a lot of the credit to the guys because that's not something that he can draw up, or any of the assistants. That's something that is very player-led, player-initiated, trust, balanced, taking chances, not just with themselves, but with each other. And it's garnered great success. 8 games consecutive in the win column, 2nd in League One history, already a franchise record to this point. 12 unbeaten if you include all comps. Within that mix, a win versus Greenville Triumph via shutout, a PK win versus the Pittsburgh Riverhounds in the USL Cup. And even that 2-1 win to open up the USL Cup against Richmond in the mix also. They haven't lost a game of any kind actually since that first game against Richmond, April 25th. They would sit 1 away from Union Omaha's 2023 squad if they do get the full 3 tonight. That Union Omaha team, for context, by the way, won the Players' Shield. Bahena sprints ahead. Dimmick only disrupted, but still Bahena. Bahena cuts inside. Bodies all over. Still bouncing as that one's poked away by Rayud Manin. Shove from behind. They'll let it go. Villalobos maintains possession. Osvaldo Ley with the assistance. Villalobos in top 10 of League One history. 151 games played now. Broke a tie with Walefi of Chattanooga Red Wolves. Here's Adam Almesh. Into the middle. Fired, and what a block by Javier Romero. Romero got the body in front, denied the former Jack Ibarra, and AV Alta have their second corner. This is a great play as our replays are brought to you by US Outdoor Lighting, making America bright since 1984, and you really had to wonder what was the thought process for bringing in Miguel Ibarra in the starting 11, considering he's not really a true striker. He's a bit more of a midfielder, but the versatility, the ability, the experience, 355 combined matches across all levels, all his time, gets another big chance for another Lancaster corner. Swooped in, back to Levy. The Spaniard, Baquero, with speed, but catching up was Pelivanov. Skinner got it back from Pelivanov. Quarter hour in, no goals to speak of. Statistically, in terms of just raw goals scored and goals allowed, these two are amongst the elite in USL League One. The +5 goal differential of AV Alta is within the top 6. The +16 goal differential of Charlotte Independence is number 1. The only team that is within the realm of Charlotte is one Knoxville. They're at a +14 goal differential, and no one else comes close to double digits. Wanting to move ahead as Alta are offside. Chick-fil-A Lancaster and Palmdale are proud to partner with AV Alta. Eat more chicken with the new Chick-fil-A season ticket and family pack, giving you free original chicken sandwiches every match. Check out all match tickets by visiting avaltafc.com. What a deal, by the way. Buy a ticket, get a chicken sandwich free? However, I don't know if that applies today because it's Sunday. Nonetheless, the festivities continue on here at the hangar. Baquero along the flank. Works on Elias Almesh. Drops it off. Coming in, slithering through, into the middle, just too far for Sadie, sent out from AV Alta. Experience the best night in the AV. The 2026 schedule is presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. The AV Alta Summer of Soccer is here. The next visitors to the AV will be Phoenix Rising, July 11th. For a celebration of World Cup and $2 beer night presented by Modelo. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. Pacific. Tickets on sale now. Scan the QR code before they're gone. $2 beer night and a free chicken sandwich? What a deal. Still Alta operating. Ibarra drops it back. Osvaldo Ley circles for Ibarra. Miguel Ibarra back at the center circle along Jimmy Villalobos. The two veterans on the youngest team across all of USL League One. Those two have actually split the captain's armband for pretty much the entire 2-year tenure that has been of AV Alta. And Brian Claben talked to us about this leadership group. He actually talked about how the level has really jumped, especially for Villalobos in particular. Turns 31 at the end of July. Just talked about how everything has really jumped, how he's naturally a bit of a more quiet guy, a little more on the shy side, but more of a leader by example last year. But in this 2026 campaign, he's felt more complexion. Oh, here's Marrero on a breakaway, but he flubs it wide. and it's a Charlotte penalty in the process. Maru had a breakaway and might have been able to score. That goes off the back of Jimmy Villalobos. Contact from behind. You had Ceja and Villalobos all charging in. And they just were a little bit desperate after a bit of miscommunication. And what do you do here? Who do you bring to the dot? This is normally a spot for Luis Alvarez. It's John Baquero on the spot. He has a chance to send Charlotte ahead 20 minutes in. Scored a free kick goal last time out versus Corpus Christi. Could get the opener here in Lancaster. Baquero on Smith. Baquero scores! 4 goals in 6 games for John Baquero, a career high 4 in 2026, and the Jacks lead 1-0.
Charlotte. Scored by number 10, John Baquero.
For John Baquero, it's just simply sliding it to the right, send Smith in the exact same direction. And this all comes off of the miscue, potential miscommunication for a very inexperienced AV Alta team. Goes off of the back of the intended pass partner, which gave Maru the breakaway, forces a scramble back, and allowed Charlotte to convert from the dot. That's Baquero's 4th of the season. He has never had more than 3 across any of his pro seasons. And that comes after being 2nd in the Golden Playmaker race in 2025 with 9 assists. He gets dropped. That one goes. Almesh from distance. Blocked by Monin. Corner. Alta, their 3rd. And tempers flare as Clay Dimmick, Charlotte's captain, goes over to our head official, Trevor Wiseman, discussing the no call on Baquero. We have a lost shoe in the process. Especially for John Baquero, that right boot was the one that gave Charlotte the lead in the 21st minute. 3 corner kicks for Toyota Lancaster. In-swinger, headed out, settled down. Sadie got a clip. Pelivanov in the box. Back in the middle. Mopped away. Still bouncing. No one can claim it. Romero outlets. Throw in Charlotte. Watch the USL on ESPN2 July 11th for a Prince Tires Interleague matchup. Championship side San Antonio FC take on the Chattanooga Red Wolves as San Antonio aims to clinch Group 3 Saturday, June 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern. Or if you're watching here on the West Coast, that's 6 Pacific. You can see a whipping wind. It'll stay this way about 13 to 15 miles per hour pretty much the entire match. Bahena on the backside, too far for Ortiz. Mike Jeffries, he and Brian Claiborne are 2 of the mid-season finalists for Coach of the Year. 451 matches as a head coach across all levels between the USL, MLS, and USL League One, starting all the way back in 2001 when he was with Dallas Bird, now FC Dallas, of Major League Soccer, and has continued to be one of the more recognizable voices and figures across all of U.S. soccer. Dead ball will give things back to Charlotte. Settled down. Baquero outside for Sadie. Sadie spent last year with Westchester. Makes his way for his first season with Charlotte. As there's still a jumble up by that dead ball. This allows Bahena to streak through. Bahena slithering through, well short. Skinner intervenes. Vigo Ortiz. The young 18-year-old really made his name well known around the USL circles after scoring the 118th minute game-winning goal in the second round of the Open Cup against the championship side Charleston Battery. Has continued to be a regular within the roster, played in 11 of the 14 matches for Charlotte, starting in 7 of them if you include tonight's match. And keep in mind there's also going to be a very consistent wind blowing towards the south. It's going to fluctuate but largely stay within the south to southwest area. So you might see the way this ball might bend and dip, especially in these high arcers. At least Almesh corrals far side. Almesh along the byline, couldn't get past Levy. Sends it quick for Baquero. Dimmick boots it deep. Maru entangled with Seha. Smith got a clip to it first before Maru could touch it, as that was very dangerous. As the night sky comes, it's about what you'd expect here in Southern California. 81 degrees, relatively windy. No real chance of precipitation coming. Still bouncing around. Monin couldn't get all of it. Romero there for cleanup. Fuchs. The lone change in Mike Jeffrey's starting 11. He's only been on the roster for about 2 months. Officially signed with Charlotte on April 30th. As this deep ball heads towards Baquero, he and Seha battle. Return to Alta. Elias Almesh sends it down. Foot race for Bahena, and Levy will watch it go on a play. Matt Levy has done a lot of the legwork in goal with the Independents, and he will send off the free kick after the Almesh foul. Turn on to CBS Saturday, July 18th for a USL Championship Eastern Conference showdown. The reigning champs, Pittsburgh Riverhounds, go head-to-head with the reigning Players' Shield winners, Louisville City FC, in a must-watch match of the summer. 2 elite clubs, 1 massive stage. Don't miss a minute on CBS. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, July 18th. Osvaldo Ley slants outside. Almeish was offside. Another decision made by our assistant referees, Salvador Reyes, Blanca Diaz Rodriguez. Our fourth official is Reina Fonseca. They donned the yellow for tonight's match. Haven't really had to deal with a lot. Something they might not have to necessarily deal with, because these teams don't foul a lot. Charlotte and AV Alta have the third and fourth fewest fouls in the league, respectively. Joey Skinner trying to get around Ortiz. They're all pretzeled up, and that goes for a AV Alta ball. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL. From grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Almeish the turnover at center. Ortiz pushes ahead. Short of Jaime. Alta will slow things down for a bit. AV Alta return home after putting in quite a bit of the air miles in their recent road trip. As this try from deep gets blocked, taken back, sent down, Maru all alone. Seja stares down Maru. Swebu Maru gives it a go, blocked in front from the former Jack Ibarra. This is Charlotte's first time away from home in a month. This try from distance is held on by Smith. For AV Alta, this is the first time back at home. They really put in their flight logs and air miles for the last three, going to Greenville, to Corpus Christi, and to Omaha for their last three. Charlotte on the other end, they really had to put it in just for this one game alone, going from Charlotte to Lancaster after they were home for their last four straight. Almeish elevated, couldn't get past Skinner. Ortiz up the sideline. Over a half an hour in, still 1-0 the score. John Baquero, the goal on the PK. Second-year man with Charlotte after spending the 2024 campaign with Memphis 901 with the championship. Almeish and Skinner battle, drag down. This will go back to Charlotte. Jaime forced to rush as he just boots that promptly out of play. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Levy forced out of his box. Lay settles down. Help comes for Charlotte. Pushed ahead, wide of Baquero. Ceja. Ortiz along the outside, has help from Almeish. Christian Ortiz in the 18. Scoops it back for Alfredo Ortiz, gives it a go. Blocked by Jando Fuchs. Almeish settles down. Dimmick all over. Contact in the area, no penalty called. Baquero walks away. And after all of that, a yellow card gets given to AV Alta. That's the first of the match in the final 10 minutes. That was Christian Ortiz. And this will very much draw the disdain of the AV Alta faithful, after it looked like there could have potentially been a penalty or at least a free kick deep in Charlotte's end with this little grapple between Dimmick and Almeish. It looks like he maybe lost his footing a little bit. And then you have the ensuing yellow card here. It wasn't the contact on Villalobos. It was actually, it looked like the ball clearance from Christian Ortiz that draws the yellow card. Delaying the restart perhaps. Back in, as all yellow cards are from Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Fuchs back and forth with Ortiz. Looks to lead for Monin. We have Fuchs coming back, the former Cameroon international, who actually changed his national team affiliation, spent his youth days with France's international program before making his way to Cameroon in the senior internationals. This could be dangerous for Alta. You see how much pressure Charlotte are putting up the field, how many bodies they commit to pressuring the defense into their own mistakes. And this is without their #1 attacking threat in Luis Alvarez, who Mike Jeffrey says is out with a hamstring injury week to week. And without their most, at least in terms of career-wise, successful attacking threat, also with Enzo Martinez, also out week to week. Martinez with a knee. This one's lobbed towards Levy. He'll hold on. JT4 proudly sponsors the Green Wall, tactics, training, and technology. JT4 has a multitude of potential career paths for those interested in joining the mission. Scan the QR code to see all available opportunities. Five minutes remain in the opening half. Charlotte 1-0 over AV Alta. Charlotte Independence come in 9-2-2. Charlotte actually started off the season a little bit rough. They actually started off the season with only one win. It was their second game of the year against Spokane Velocity to a 4-0 final. It showed maybe the ceiling of what Charlotte could be. But 2 losses, 2 draws within that opening 5. In 8 games, pardon, winning in the regular season since. They could have a chance to get to 9, to get within 1 of the 2023 Union Omaha team that won the regular season title. In space, Swebu Maru hits the brakes, Baquero follows. A chance up the middle, Christopher Jaime goes well high, and someone's gonna have to get that. Jaime still looking for that first goal in USL League One. Does have 6 goals to his name at the professional ranks, but those were all in MLS Next Pro when he spent his 2 years in 2023 and 24 with LAFC 2. Elias Almesh works in. Almesh across! Blocked by Dimick! He was looking for his brother Adam, but Dimick read it all the way through, but it stays with Alta on a throw. This was a great play as Elias Almesh, he's been a bit of a firecracker, at least in terms of igniting offense. Only his second start in regular season action. The last time was against Omaha. He could very see the line drive. This one's aimed back post, well high of Osvaldo Ley. The 23-year-old Panamanian, more of a central midfielder, especially getting back on defense. You might see him as a pseudo 5th back at times between him and Villalobos. But you could see Ley getting in the mix that time. 95 total professional goals between his first 2 years pro in the top Panamanian league and his 2 years here in USL League One with AV Alta. Villalobos gets it for Ley. He scoops it across. Almesh. Dimick in front. Got away for now. Adam Almesh in front and just hit over. Bahena had eyes for goal but couldn't convert. One of the rookies on this roster, and way for Adam Almesh to get away from the pressure of Clay Dimick. Not only escapes the leg tangle, even got around and found Bahena up in front. Bahena has taken massive steps, especially with the consistency of his work rate since joining AV Alta in the offseason. His first year since his college time at the University of San Diego, where he was a 4-time All-WCC conference member, and has already showed up strong in his first season as a mid-season Young Player of the Year finalist. Elias Almesh takes control, centers, Ley, couldn't leave it for Ibarra. Still up top, Bahena again. Ortiz, crosses, flipped up by Baquero. Corner, AV Alta. This is another one for Toyota of Lancaster. We've had 2 on each corner so far, but none really done much. Served in, low driver. Ortiz the slide, Almesh walks out of the pile. Return for Almesh, clips it across, no one to receive. This appears to be a Charlotte throw. The fourth official indicating 1 minute of the Southwest Healthcare stoppage time. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information on all their hospital services. Up the gut, aiming for Maru, back for Ortiz. Retreats back towards Jaime. Starters back, Skinner. Swoops it across. Chopped down, Alfredo Ortiz. Seconds away from the expiration of the first half. As Dimmick follows through, and it goes off of Seha for a Charlotte throw. And Charlotte won't get a chance at one final attack, as that's where we sit at halftime. Only one goal on the board, but it was not in the run of play. It was hit from the spot, as John Baquero scored the lone goal of this match, where we sit at halftime 1-0 through 45 minutes. All things considered, this has been a very testy match between two of the top 5 contenders in USL League One. 15 shots attempted between Charlotte and Alta, but one got through Denzel Smith. Halftime from Modelo, coming back after this.
In Big Bear, every moment becomes part of your story. It's where you can find the perfect lake spot for your family. Make your way along the trail for the first of many adventures. Or see a new passion spark in their eyes for the very first time. Where the sky reminds you just how big that story can be. Because Big Bear is where your memories are made, where they're written. The best memories are made in Big Bear. Start your tradition at bigbear.com.
When it comes to healthcare, you want all aspects of your care to connect and to work in harmony. Introducing Southwest Healthcare, a comprehensive network of care working together to serve you and your loved ones. Palmdale Regional Medical Center is proud to be a part of this new, expanded system. Our goal is to provide high-quality healthcare services that benefit you, your family, and our entire community. Experience health in harmony today with the new Southwest Healthcare.
Toyota of Lancaster's Buy Local and Save sales event is on. Come down today to save big on hundreds of vehicles in stock. Cars, SUVs, trucks, hybrids, and more. We have new vehicles arriving daily. In the market for a used vehicle? Toyota of Lancaster has a massive selection of used and Toyota certified used vehicles to choose from. Drive with confidence in the vehicle you deserve. Bad credit, no problem. Toyota of Lancaster will make your vehicle purchase safe, simple, and fun. Shop online at toyotaoflancaster.com. Toyota of Lancaster. Buy local and save.
Halftime in Lancaster is brought to you by Modelo, as it has been a very busy match week in USL League One. We take a look back at the best of the week. Things got started off in the midweek with Boise and Knoxville back on Thursday, a bit of a back and forth affair, although Boise would get the party started with Nick Moon in the 22nd minute. Knoxville would strike back. A defending champs would show they are exactly that. The center back, Finn McRobb, right on the doorstep, slams in the equalizer just on the precipice of halftime. But in the final 10 minutes of regulation, Teddy Baker, one of the new acquisitions, showing why he is worth every penny to Ian Fuller. They take the 2-1 win back on Thursday. Knoxville would jump to second in the league table. On Friday, a back and forth affair between two teams that, although it looks like there's not much there considering where they stand at the table, this one was an absolute barn burner between Naples and the Hearts of Pine. All sorts of commotion inside of the area. Lalo Delgado could only do so much. And then this absolute ripper from range for Naples. And when all looked like things would be all set and clear, it would be Mateo Kidd for Diego Gonzalez and Mikey Lopez getting 2 goals for Portland in only a 3-minute stretch. Stoppage time stunner in Naples for Portland to secure the 3. We wrap things up with the game from last night, and Fort Wayne, although they are the newcomers, they have shown they are not here to play. If anything, they are only touring with their food. That was Spokane Velocity. Not only a 14th minute goal from Tay Haley to stay in the Golden Boot race, or a goal just before halftime from Jeremy Garay, but a PK goal from Lillian Rincole would seal the deal. 3 points for Fort Wayne for the 3-0 win against Velocity, the 2-time finalists. We continue halftime in Lancaster, presented by Modelo after this.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power, trusted for over 100 years. Our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Hay mucha fiesta, señor Martino. Hay que de revancha, doctor. Pero falta gol y estamos a esperar a Hugo. ¿Hugo Sánchez? Sí, tira para adelante. ¿Quién maneja? ¿Un futbolista? ¡Llegamos por fin! ¡Ay, bendito sea el chofer, doctor! Hugo, ¿regreso a las canchas? ¿Algún consejo?
Sí, confía y cree en ti.
¡Ey! ¡Pasa al norte! A donde me dé la oportunidad, pero listo para dar el paso. ¡Listo, vamos!
This is your moment.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Back here at the hangar, AV Alta trail Charlotte Independence 1-0. Halftime is brought to you by Modelo. We don't just look back at the match week, we look ahead at what's to come. As we take a look at the upcoming schedule presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa for AV Alta, we mentioned it a little bit in the game, but they got Phoenix Rising up next in the USL Cup before they get back on their flights where they go to Tennessee, a back-to-back between Chattanooga and Knoxville, only 3 days apart. Those will both be at 4 Pacific, and that Phoenix Rising match could show that they are amongst the top teams, considering they already upset a USL Championship opponent in Orange County the last time that they hosted a USL Cup game against a USL Championship opponent. So the potential most certainly there for Alta. And then you flip to the other end, our other upcoming schedule from Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, Charleston Battery and Charlotte Independence. That is a bout of 2 heavyweights between Charleston and Charlotte, the top of USL League One, the top of USL Championship, going toe-to-toe in Prince Tires USL Cup play before Charlotte looked to stay above the playoff line. 2 tough tasks ahead, hosting Chattanooga before heading to the 2-time finalist Spokane. Our out-of-town scores are brought to you by Visit Big Bear, and we mentioned all the games that were available. Charlotte started off the match week beating Corpus Christi. AV Alta started their week having lost to Omaha. And it's really been a back and forth between Charlotte and Omaha. Knoxville got a taste of what could have been the number 1 seed with their win against Boise, but just out of reach of Omaha at the end of the day. And then you flip over to the slate, especially the Saturday and Sunday one. Our crew were in Corpus Christi last night, where they stay very much in the playoff race in their in-season turnaround. But AC Boise beating Westchester earlier today, and also Fort Wayne beating Spokane forced a 3-way tie in 4th place, which could still be the case if AV Alta cannot hang on, or rather, AV Alta can't catch up. We are closing in on the second half at the Hangar in Lancaster. AV Alta, Charlotte Independence, halftime from Modelo, second half coming up.
It is halftime in League One. Time to get you caught up on the headlines this week. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio. Charlotte Independence set up an amazing group stage finale in the Prince Tires USL Cup with its 1-0 win over Greenville Triumph. Charlotte is tied with Charleston Battery atop the Group 6 standings with a head-to-head matchup against the Battery in round 4. 3 more League One clubs with a shot to advance to the quarterfinals are Spokane Velocity, AC Boise, and Union Omaha. AV Alta drew 0-0 with Corpus Christi last week, extending its unbeaten run in League One to 9 matches heading into this week. During that stretch, AV Alta has allowed just 4 goals with 5 shutouts. Now, in that game against AV Alta, Corpus Christi head coach Ayman Zayed worked his 101st League One match. Zayed has won 44% of those matches, giving him the best winning percentage of all coaches to reach 100 matches in League One. Upcoming national spotlight games in League One of the Championship. Saturday the 11th, USL Cup finale between San Antonio and Chattanooga on ESPN2. Then a pair of matches on CBS Sports Network, Sporting Jackson Pittsburgh on the 15th, followed by AC Boise and Portland on the 17th. Then the big one on CBS Saturday the 18th, Pittsburgh hosting Louisville City. This is the USL Halftime Update. Let's get you back out to your match.
Insurance companies are not your friend. In fact, their sole job is to make certain you get as little as possible at a time when you need it the most. At the Paris Law Firm, we have a long track record of forcing insurance companies to pay you every penny that you're owed. If you've been hurt in a crash, call us at the Paris Law Firm so we can help you in your time of need.
Are you wondering who belongs at Antelope Valley College? Let me introduce you to some students.
Dreamers.
Career builders.
Transfer students.
Working parents.
Veterans.
Student athletes.
First-generation students.
In short,
you belong at AVC.
We're here for you, so visit avc.edu and apply today.
Toyota of Lancaster's Buy Local and Save sales event is on. Come down today to save big on hundreds of vehicles in stock. Cars, SUVs, trucks, hybrids, and more. We have new vehicles arriving daily. In the market for a used vehicle? Toyota of Lancaster has a massive selection of used and Toyota certified used vehicles to choose from. Drive with confidence in the vehicle you deserve. Bad credit, no problem. Toyota of Lancaster will make your vehicle purchase safe, simple, and fun. Shop online at toyotaoflancaster.com. Toyota of Lancaster. Buy local and save.
Back in Lancaster, all fun in the foam on a Sunday night, as halftime is brought to you by Modelo. AV Alta down by 1-0, but our highlights are through the first 45 minutes of play. Adam Almesh would start things off right off the jump, but that forces in a really aggressive save from Matt Levy. You have to really give some credit to one of the key attacking pieces, Adam Almesh, as our highlights are presented by Modelo. A bit of an errant pass for AV Alta would not only give Maru a potential breakaway, but this was a tackle that honestly did not need to be made by AV Alta, but that gives Baquero a try from the spot. He and Smith both go to their respective rights, and that would put Charlotte ahead, which is where we sit through the opening 45. Stats are also presented by Modelo, and all things considered, relatively even. You don't have that overly dominant possession that AV Alta have been looking for, because Charlotte have had good control of the ball. They've really maximized all their opportunities. You see that percentage of shots to on target for both teams, and Charlotte have taken care of the ball better. Even though their only goal came from a PK, that is where we sit through the opening 45. We flip ends and get ready for the second half here in Lancaster. AV Alta in the green. They'll go left to right for the second set of 45. Charlotte Independence, white and blue stripes. They go right to left, and we will have a redo right out the gate. For everyone staying up in the East Coast, and everyone who stayed at the hangar after the watch party of the really tough loss of Mexico against England in the round of 16. We have a substitution to announce right at the halftime break. It will be Jerry Desdune in for Elias Almesh. All substitutions are brought to you by Waste Management. Desdune, he's actually a finalist for the June Player of the Month after having 5 assists in 5 matches throughout the month of June. And that is where we sit in the beginning of the second 45. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew, we thank you for joining us for League One After Dark on the East Coast. We are technically in Monday, June 6th, if you are operating on the East Coast. But it's been an exciting day of soccer all the way around, starting since the Norway-Brazil game. Carried on to the round of 16 match with Mexico and Brazil, which had a watch party here at the hangar, and it continues on with AV Alta making a push towards the top of the table. Entering tonight, 2 results away from number 1. And for Charlotte Independence, it is a back and forth battle between them and Union Omaha for the number 1 seed. No matter if you were here to watch the Mexican national team or AV Alta, they're donning the green. Ortiz into the middle, blocked off and swept away. Rayud Manin held tight defensively, but it'll go back to Alta. Christian Ortiz snakes his way through. Baquero takes it back for the Independents. Ortiz, the youngster on this roster, 18 years of age. Actually started the year as a 17-year-old. Osvaldo Lay clipping it through. Jerry Desdune denied by Levy. Desdune has been so dangerous all over the pitch for Brian Claben, one of those key offensive pieces who has really been asked to do everything no matter where he's been slotted. He's played on pretty much every single slot of the offense and the midfield, but a chance to reverse for Charlotte. To the middle, Pelivanov gets it away. Maru was the target, but it's outside for Ortiz. Adam Almesh. You can see some of Desdune's immediate impact. He was actually spotted at a local game in the LA County area and actually caught the eye of Brian Claben and his staff. It was in that 2023 season with Ventura County of USL League Two for the Haitian. And this was that last opportunity. Osvaldo Lay got it free from Fuchs and got it back for Desdune, but couldn't quite get all of that as he had a rolling ball, really struggling to corral that. Cesar Bahena into the middle, clipped out from Jaime. Villalobos circles back. Brian Claben very hopeful that maybe some help could be coming, as many of their contributors from last year, or some of the ones they expected to be major contributors this year, are expected to come back from respective injuries. Jabril Doumbia started a couple matches in goal, hurt his hand against Greenville Triumph. You also have one of the backs trying to circle back. Javin Romero couldn't escape from Osvaldo Lay before he respectively boots it. One of his key center backs, Miguel Pajaro, out, who started 9 matches in this season before he respectively got hurt. Even guys like Joaquin Acuna as a potential forward, Steven Ramos, Rendon Thomas, some of those youngsters, the 17-year-old Thomas, the 21-year-old Ramos. Thomas hasn't played since the middle of May. Ramos hasn't played since the end of March. Acuna only got in 1 match, and that was in April of 2025. Maybe a chance to spark something for Alta. Bahena drops it. Ibarra got it tipped, but held on by Levy. With speed for Charlotte, Baquero drops it. Villalobos got there before it reached Ortiz. Too far for Christian Ortiz. In front for Skinner. Just got bodied by Pelivanov. And that is a big frame to combat. 6'3", 176 of Kaloyan Pelivanov, the Bulgarian. 6-year pro is Pelivanov. And he allows Alta to regain. Desdune with Lay. Osvaldo Lay. Alta just playing keep away at the moment. 9 shots attempted. He try to get another one, and they will draw a corner the first of the second half. All 5 of the Toyota Lancaster corners have gone to AV Alta. And this is the first Toyota Lancaster corner of the second half. Adam Almesh, headed from Baquero. Still there for Alta. Villalobos settles, leaves it. To the flank, Bahena across. Took a clip out of play, and that was seemingly last off of Charlotte. This will go for another AV Alta corner.
Another Toyota of Lancaster. AV Alta corner kick.
Second of the half for Toyota of Lancaster. A spot where AV Alta doesn't get to very often, but they have all 6 in today's match. Punched out from Levy. Alfredo Ortiz, back for Almesh. Works on Dimmick. Flutters across, too high for Seha. Still bouncing, swept out by Maru. Desdune in front, contact in the area. Fans want a penalty, they're not getting it. Vigo Ortiz the other direction before it's clipped out of play. This is going to very much be of the chagrin of the AV Alta faithful, as Romero from behind got a little contact on Desdune. As our replays are brought to you by U.S. Outdoor Lighting, Make America Bright. And regardless, Charlotte go offside. Experience the best night in the AV. The 2026 season schedule is presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. AV Alta will be taking on El Salvador champions CD Foss on July 8th for an international soccer event presented by Morongo Casino. Kickoff, 7 o'clock. Tickets on sale now. Get yours before they're gone. Miguel Ibarra hustles ahead for Bahena. Bahena to the middle. Ortiz cut down from Romero. Launches ahead. Maru, he's alone, but he's offside. The AV Alta Summer of Soccer is here, powered by Visit Big Bear, and it's going to be electric. 8 huge matches, giveaways, special events, incredible energy, post-match after parties, from the first whistle to the final celebration. There's no better night out in the AV. Don't miss out on one of the biggest nights of the summer, as AV brings unforgettable soccer and entertainment to Lancaster Municipal Stadium. Get your tickets at avaltafc.com. Ten minutes into the second half, Charlotte maintained their 1-0 lead. That's not without some pressure from AV Alta, however, as they have both of the attempts in the second half, which have both gone on target. Maybe another, as that's a trip for a free kick and the ensuing yellow card against Charlotte. You had this drive from Adam Almay slithering through, and it looks like you had Sadie, you had Jaime. It is Jaime who gets the contact. Jaime returning to Southern California, the San Diego native, played 2 years in MLS Next Pro with LAFC's second team. Drew the yellow card on that one, as all yellow cards are brought to you by Paris Law Firm, the nation's best for personal injury attorneys. Free kick coming up for Alta. Sent towards goal and just over. Charlotte yet to really get any significant possession in the second half. They've only possessed about a quarter of the ball so far in the second half, compared to where things were at halftime, a little closer to 50-50, about in the 60-40 range. High 50s to the low 40s if you want to be particular about it. Alta looked to Hunt, too far for Lay, smothered by Levy. Baquero jumps into play. Vigo Ortiz outside. A lot of maintenance between the three Ortizes, the two for AV Alta, Christian, and Alfredo, and the one for Charlotte, Vigo. Alfredo, the rookie from Cal. Christian, second-year man, played with Arizona Monsoon of Nisa. And then Vigo Ortiz, who was with Charleston Battery's Academy program, the former Mexican Youth International. Vigo, the only one of the Jacks. This is Christian. Leads the way with Jimmy Villalobos and Osvaldo Lay. Jaime pressures. Lay gets out of it. Wanted to push it ahead for Bahena before the brakes get shut down by Matt Levy. And Mike Jeffries really credits the resilience of Levy, considering last year he not only was slotted in to replace a former goalkeeper of the year in Austin Pack after the 2024 campaign, but really was the true starter to begin 2025. But then he had a string of 4 straight losses of 10 goals allowed and lost the job, forcing Amal Knight to come in. And although Knight is now with Greenville, Levy didn't play about the last month of the year, plus the playoff game, and has really shown himself ready to prove that he is worthy of being the #1 for Charlotte once again, and this time to keep that spot. And he has done so well, a mid-season goalkeeper of the year finalist. And he has held on for a defensive unit whose 17 goals allowed is top 5 in the league. Joey Skinner amongst the defenders, with that back tandem of Romero and Monin. Baquero keeps it for Charlotte. Circles around, dislodged by Lay. And maybe a chance to sprint up for AV Alta. Adam Almesh works on Monin. And Monin and Dimmick work well together to get it free from Almesh before Baquero just bangs it out of play. Villalobos across, Christian Ortiz. Desdune retreats for Villalobos. Alta will hang on to things. They've gathered points in 8 of their 9 here at the hangar. 4 wins, 4 draws. Ibarra, edge of the area. Desdune outlets for Villalobos. Pelavanov walks in. Pelavanov the try, well outside the frame. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Pushing ahead for Adam Almesh. Dimmick draped all over once again. Jaime has to be careful. He's on a yellow. He backs off to Desdune. Charlotte able to win it back. Villalobos intervenes. And the foul is given back to Charlotte. AV Alta are proud to partner with US Outdoor Lighting, your complete source for outdoor lighting. Visit usltg.com to find out more. Calm but windy day here in Lancaster, 80 degrees, about a dozen mile-per-hour wind. Christian Ortiz back inside, just out of anyone's reach, but Lay keeps it in play. Back in the grasp of Alta, Villalobos. The wind has died down a little bit as Desdune tries to spark. Almesh on the outside, blocked by Monin. Doesn't matter. Whistled against AV Alta. Some of the style of AV Alta has perhaps stifled Charlotte to an extent, considering that Charlotte in regular season play has scored at least 2 goals in the last 7 matches across this current stretch. One of the big reasons for their success has been able to score goals at will and be a high volume offense. They have the 2nd most shot attempts of anyone in the league. Only Omaha has more. The team they are chasing at the top of the table. 20 minutes into the second half, Charlotte still lead 1-0. John Baquero, the PK goal, back at the 21st. AV Alta could stay within reach. 7 points back of Union Omaha. 1 goal back of Charlotte Independence. Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew, we thank you for joining us on the East Coast. USL League One Soccer After Dark from Lancaster Municipal Stadium. Jerry Desdune spins back. Bahena. What a move. Loosened up. Christian Ortiz straight into the hands of Levy. This was that last opportunity. The little give off to Christian Ortiz from Bahena and just went up into the hands of Levy. A very big frame for the former FIU Panthers, 6'2", the 26-year-old. And this will be a Levy goal kick, and we will have changes made as well. This will add some interesting elements to the attack, as the entire front three of AV Alta will be changed up. We saw Jerry Desdune substituted out for Elias Almesh earlier. This will be our second set of WM substitutions for AV Alta, as it is Colin Anderson in at the 68th minute, and Santiago Higuereta. And they will replace, respectively, Adam Almesh and Miguel Ibarra. So maybe a chance to inject some youth, and with Anderson particularly, inject the jets that are his legs into the match. Santiago Higuereta scored in one of his first ever matches in USL League One against the New York Cosmos. Desdune carries it, fires it into Levy's grasp once again. A lot of the tries so far have been outside of the box. And that is something that AV Alta all season long have struggled with. Of all of their chances, they have one of the lowest rates of their shots going inside of the box. A lot of the tries have been from distance. And with the conditions, with a goalkeeper as sharp as Levy, it's going to take a lot more than deep tries and absolute glorious bangers to get past, at least per the USL ranks, a top 4 keeper in the entire league. Sadie leads the way for Charlotte. That took a ricochet as and for the first time in this match, we have a Charlotte corner. You can see that wind whipping about a dozen miles per hour from this perspective, right to left, as Javier Romero will take it. Toyota Lancaster, the first of the match for Charlotte in the final 20. They go low. Jaime up top and is well high. That is Charlotte's first shot attempt at the half, by the way, as they have all sorts of bodies lined up on the sideline. Anderson, well deep, all alone. Colin Anderson just misses. Did it hit Levy on the way, though, is the question. As this is the threat that Colin Anderson poses. He can just get behind the defensive line, can get those breakaways one-on-one. His last goal was against Spokane Velocity. That was a game-winning goal. But we really saw that speed be implemented in the third round of the USL Cup against Orange County, where he flew past the entire defense and was one-on-one there. Maybe another try. Osvaldo Ley holds up. And this time the flag goes up. And we might be having 3 substitutions coming up for Mike Jeffries. Brian Claben already used up 3 of his own. And it looks like it'll be a changeup of the entire midfield core for Mike Jeffries. Our WM Substitutions. And yes, this will be a complete overhaul of the midfield. John Baquero, Prince Sadie, and Vigo Ortiz will make their respective exits. We have the entry of Jefferson Amaya, Miles Lyons, and Matisse Gouffroy. For Miles Lyons, this is 101 matches in all pro levels. He got that 100th against Corpus Christi last time out. Jefferson Amaya, this is his 10th match. And for Matisse Gouffroy, the Frenchman from St. Thomas, 5 matches on the season. Toyota of Lancaster is a proud partner of AV Alta FC, driving the Antelope Valley forward. Find out by visiting toyotaoflancaster.com. Under 20 minutes to go here in Lancaster. John Baquero just got subbed out. He scored the only goal this match on a penalty. In regular season action, Charlotte are unbeaten in the 7 games they scored the opener. For AV Alta, they have only amassed 5 total points when allowing the first goal, as Levy had to be aware of that. He runs into Romero as he was battling. Romero still down. And we're gonna have to take a look at this one. And it looked like Romero might have had his head catch the foot of Levy as Levy was making the leap. We do have another waste management substitution. Osvaldo Lay will come out. Godwin Antwi will be the respective replacements, so seemingly offensive help. More of a defensive midfielder in Lay for an attacking midfielder, Antwi. Another set of waste management substitutions. And some help has come for Chauvin Romero. Godwin Antwi, the rookie from University of San Diego. We take a look back at Romero as the injury stoppage is brought to you by Southwest Healthcare. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information for all your hospital services. Now that begs a question for Romero. Does he stay, or does Mike Jeffries maybe just not take that risk, use the 4th sub? He only has 1 defender at his disposal. That would be Tabo Nare, the 23-year-old from Zimbabwe. A carried North Carolina native, spent last year with South Georgia Tormenta. If Jeffries does elect to go in this direction, it would be his 4th sub at the final quarter hour. His 4th of 5 subs in the quarter hour. Brian Claben on the other end only has 1 left at his disposal. USL Championship in League One or on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on CBS Sports Golazo and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Anderson in front, and that had to be held on by Levy. Reaching out with the single palm to slow it down as you had all sorts of players on the back end. Desdoom, Bahena, Higuereta were all charging in, but no one could get anything on Levy. This will be booted out of play. And after some assistance, Javan Romero is back in the play. A yellow card does ensue as Christian Ortiz, he's on a yellow card, but this time he drew it. It was Swebu Maru getting a little bit physical on the contact on Christian Ortiz. All yellow cards are brought to you by Paris Law Firm. A dozen minutes remain in this match. Villalobos took the armband from Ibarra after Ibarra got subbed off. The turnover is forced by Gouffroy. Gouffroy had it taken away. Alfredo Ortiz. Antwi on the outside. Back in. Dislodged by Gouffroy, still available for Alta. Higuereta. Leads it. Ortiz denied by Levy. Corner, AV Alta, third of the half, seventh of the game from Toyota Lancaster.
AV Alta corner kick.
High arc, still loose, out of the box. And we have a stoppage. And that is Javan Romero again. This time he might have taken some head-on-head. Just when it looked like AV Alta were cooking with gas, all of that momentum comes to a screeching halt. You see Dave Carton and Mike Jeffries strategizing. They might have to pull the trigger as Romero goes down twice in a matter of minutes. It's hard to tell if the contact was from Pelivanov or Levy. But regardless, this is another injury substitution, another injury stoppage brought to you by Southwest Healthcare, and you have to wonder, this is the second knock to Javan Romero in a matter of minutes. We've seen this before with maybe some of the new FIFA rules that it could force Romero out of the game for about a minute or so. So although he does get a knock on him, this will actually force the hand of Mike Jeffries. He will make his final two subs here. We thought it might have happened earlier, but it came a little later than expected. Two more waste management subs made by Mike Jeffries. Not only is Tabo Nare in for Javan Romero, but Christy Manzinga will take the place of Swebu Maru. Manzinga, the 31-year-old Frenchman, in Norway, and for Norway, we teased it a little earlier, is actually a member of South Georgia Tormenta last year. It's his second season in USL League One. Deep ball, headed towards Levy. Visit Big Bear is proud to partner with AV Alta FC. Big Bear Lake is where moments on the pitch and in the mountains become tradition. Start yours by scanning the QR code to find out more. That was Manzinga getting a little bit ahead, forcing the whistle of Trevor Wiseman. Salvador Reyes, Blanca Diaz Rodriguez, Reina Fonseca, the rest of the crew in yellow. Haven't really had to dish out a lot of the yellows in this match as Levy boots it away. Captained by Kufwa, but an immediate turnover. Higareda past the center stripe. Time dwindling for AV Alta. It was right around this point of the season last year they had their slide that took them out of the playoff race. This goes overhead. It was actually a really interesting case study for AV Alta in their opening season. A lot of lessons were learned by Brian Claben and his staff from that 2025 campaign. They had that initial 9-game unbeaten run where they were top 2 in the table on July 19th. So right around this point of the year, actually. But in the 16 games that end the season, only 1 win came from it. 1 win, 7 losses, 8 draws after July 19th. And AV Alta would promptly be eliminated from the playoffs by a single point. Charlotte Independence would actually be the one to claim that final playoff spot. It was AV Alta down to the wire. They tied with Portland Hearts of Pine on decision day, which sealed the deal for Charlotte before they even played the rest of their decision day game. They actually clinched partway through their match because there's about an hour separation. Then Charlotte would promptly be eliminated by the reigning champs, Knoxville. Try from distance, Bahena way over. Enter the Prince Tires USL Cup Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for your chance to win a prize pack worth up to $2,000. Scan the QR code on the screen and enter today. Kufwa ate the contact from Pelavanov. And this is a yellow card to Kufwa. Looked like Kufwa got the contact before Pelavanov just got his entire frame in there. Pelavanov was going with the head, Kufwa with the foot. Final 5 minutes here in Lancaster.
Paris law from the yellow card issued. Charlotte player number 13, Matthias Gilfroy.
Freed up for Villalobos. Around for Higuereta. Back to the middle. Desdune. Slithers inside. Tangled up. Comes out for Villalobos. Desdune, edge of the area. Desdune got met. Keeps possession. And last touch by Higuereta out of play. Jando Fuchs is down on the ground. Fuchs just got the meat of the contact from Desdune, which forced him down on the ground before it was promptly swept out of play. Did last clip off of Alta. That's a foul against AV Alta. Brinks Tires USL Cup is next. Both teams have USL Championship opponents. For Charlotte, they could be one of the surprises of the USL Cup if they can upset Charleston. That game is at Patriots Point, where it's a top of the table class where Charlotte could represent USL League One in the quarterfinals. AV Alta hosts Phoenix. Ortiz comes across. Monin got contact. Bahena around. Desdune tried to lead it. Slide tackle in the area, and that is a penalty for Alta. AV Alta have swarmed Charlotte's box in the second half, and the efforts finally pay off for AV Alta. You have all sorts of commotion with Jerry Desdune. Godwin Antwi came in late. That was Miles Lyons who got the slide on Antwi. Jerry Desdune going to the dot, Player of the Month finalist. 8 goal contributions in the last 9, but his last 5 have all been assists. To equalize. He does. Desdune at the death. This game is tied 1-1. This was the contact that drew the foul, leading the way for Godwin Antwi. Lyons couldn't get all ball. He did get the legs of Antwi. And then Jerry Desdune. Actually a very similar PK to the Baquero one, where both Levy and Desdune went to their respective rights on the same net nonetheless. And we have an extra 4 minutes of stoppage time. There's a whistle in the process. A free kick is coming for AV Alta. The 4th official indicated 4 minutes of Southwest Healthcare stoppage time. Southwest Healthcare Palmdale Regional Medical Center brings health in harmony. Visit palmdaleregional.com for more information about all their hospital services. Maybe a chance for AV Alta to steal not only a point, but all 3, as we are halfway through that 4. Desdune just dished out the tying PK. Sent across. headed out. Bahena gets it back in. Desdune. Give and go with Higuereta. Contact. Did this go out of play first, or did the contact go first? Free kick comes, top of the box, blocked away. Trying to go quick was Villalobos, but Charlotte were up to the task defensively. Offside, AV Alta. Despite only 2 goals, both of which coming in penalties, this game has not disappointed. 26 combined shots attempted. 18 of them have been AV Alta's. 10 on target. Charlotte only managed 3 of them. Bodies collide, back to AV Alta. They've had well over 2/3 of the possession, 69% for the home side. Christian Ortiz, maybe time for one dagger. Lifted deep, Skinner scrambles. Everyone wants a handball. It doesn't get whistled down. Cleared by Charlotte. Pelivanov scrambles back to escape Manzinga. Pelivanov for Anderson. Anderson might be loose. Circles back, waits for help. Still Ortiz. Villalobos across. Desdune. Help comes for AV Alta. Cuts inside. Turned over. Jaime runs out the clock, and that is it.
And that is the match. Final score.
They're one step closer, but not close enough. Both teams shy of the top seed, but they climb one step closer as they each take a point here at the hangar.
It will start shortly. You'd like to make your way towards the suites on the south end.
Our man of the match, presented by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, is Jerry Desdune. Came in an instant spark at halftime. The only goal for AV Alta. And led the team with 3 shots on target in the half that he played. Talk about an immediate impact. Establishing a new career high, 5 goals on the season. As John Baquero and Jerry Desdune went PK for PK to split the game. 1 all in goals, 1 all in points. Our match is brought to you by Pepsi. We wrap things up in Lancaster when we come back. This match is presented by Pepsi, AV Alta, and Charlotte Independence. Not only 1-1 on the scoreboard, 1-1 in terms of the points allotted, which does keep Omaha in the number 1 slot in USL League One. Charlotte is tied, deadlocked actually, with Knoxville, but Charlotte had the second slot due to goal differential, as our full-time highlights are presented by Pepsi. It all started off the rip. Adam Almash with a big save by Matt Levy right off the jump, which forced things early, but in the 19th minute, there would be a turnover that gave Maru a breakaway, and the trip from behind with Eric Seha and Jimmy Villalobos would bring Charlotte to the spot. And in the 21st minute, John Baquero would slot it home for the opening goal of the game. That'd be Baquero's 4th, a career high for him in terms of single season goals. And we actually rewind back a little bit, a couple minutes back, our save of the match from JT4, and this was actually a great chance for Maru, forcing the hands of Denzel Smith. Didn't have to make any spectacular ones, but at the very least, he made the ones that he had to make. And that is about as much as you can ask for a number 1 keeper. Do you at least make the saves that are asked of you and not let in any potential squeakers or any bad ones? But in the 90th minute, things would come to a head for Charlotte. The offensive aggression for AV Alta would eventually cost Charlotte not only drawing a penalty, but Des Dune, he makes no mistake about it, especially as one of the top offensive contributors for AV Alta, makes no mistake when he gets a chance at the spot. As our full-time highlights are presented by Lancaster and Palmdale Chick-fil-A, eat more chicken. And for AV Alta, this has been a little more of what they've wanted. High possession, which generated a high volume of chances. And because they really held Charlotte back in their own end, AV Alta, because they're such a young team, they are the youngest team in the league, they really want to prove that they can hang with the upper echelon of teams, especially after that really tough, relatively... They were controlling that loss versus Omaha for a large part of it before things eventually fell off the rails. And this draw to Charlotte, at least in this perspective, shows that AV Alta can hang with that top level of teams, and they stay in the top 4. They are solely in 4th place, 1 point above 5th and 6th Boise and Fort Wayne. Well, what a way to wrap up match week 18 in USL League One. It's been an exciting one, but AV Alta and Charlotte Independence, not only were the goals 1-1, so were the points for our entire USL League One and ESPN Plus crew. My name is Ryan Lee. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.